Everyone. I'm Dalen, the campus internship coordinator, and today I'm going to be talking about what to do and expect in your internship once you have it secured, specifically for internships in the College of Liberal Arts and Business and College of Health and Sciences, which is the programs that I oversee. I have another video on how to prepare for your internship. This one's a little more focused on your first day and after that. So first, let's talk about your first day. Make sure you arrive early, about 15 minutes at least. Allow time for parking, traffic, all that kind of stuff when you're driving there, and then making sure you're able to be there, parked, and ready to go at least 15 minutes before you're supposed to report to them. Make sure you ask about policies and procedures on that first day, like who you should communicate with if and when you're sick, rules about lunch breaks, how long they are, what time you take them, if you get any other shorter breaks, 15-minute break here and there, all that kind of stuff. Ask about where you can store your belongings, like your lunch, jacket, coat, anything like that. And those are all kind of things you want to ask about just so you know what to do when that comes up later in the internship. Make sure you discuss your internship goals and supervisor's expectations. Make sure you're both on the same page with hours, schedule, what kind of work you're going to be doing, what they expect in terms of your work, and that they understand that you're earning course credit and do have requirements to complete on AU's end. And again, make sure you're confirming your hours, when the internship is going to end, ensuring that you're going to hit at least 200 like most internships require, or a different amount if you are completing an internship for less credits. Professionalism is another thing I wanted to talk about. Make sure you're being professional with your emails, always including a greeting, addressing the person, at least saying hi so-and-so, or just addressing them directly. A closing like thank you, and then signing your name. Make sure you have a subject line that is specific enough but not super long. Make sure you use correct grammar, punctuation, spelling, etc. Not hitting reply all in most situations, just replying directly to the person who is relevant to your reply. You can hit reply all if the entire team needs to know what you're going to say, but otherwise don't reply all to the entire organization or things that not everyone else needs to see. Unless you're required to be on social media on your phone, make sure you keep your phone out of view in most situations. That just makes sure you look professional, helps you stay on task, not look distracted. Make sure you're open to professional and constructive feedback. Make sure you're viewing it as an opportunity to enhance your skills. Treat your supervisor as if they're a faculty member or instructor teaching you in a course. They kind of are in a sense, so you should value their feedback, take it as constructive criticism, and really aim to improve after that. Make sure you're maintaining confidentiality boundaries. If you're working in a medical setting, you have to be wary of HIPAA. If you're working in an educational setting, there's FERPA, which is similar, or other kinds of just privacy things or unprofessional things that you don't need to talk about. Make sure you're avoiding office politics and gossip, not getting involved in areas that aren't productive. And most importantly, ask questions. It's better to ask a ton of questions than assume and assume wrong. It shows that you're curious. It doesn't show that you don't know things or that you're unknowledgeable. It shows that you're curious, enthusiastic, and want to do your best, which is something that all employers want. Then we'll talk about networking and making sure you're getting the most out of your internship. So in order to do that, make sure you learn people's names, introduce yourself to others in the office and the building, just to show your enthusiasm, to grow your network, to kind of get a chance to understand the entire organization, not just the small area that you're working in, because maybe you want to move in that direction. So now if you talk to everyone, you kind of have connections in that direction too. You're not isolating yourself to one specific office or department. Attend company meet and greets that might come up, or any team events that you're eligible for that you have a place at. It's great to show that you really want to take the extra step to immerse yourself in the company culture and things like that. You're not just there to do your work. You want to learn from people, meet people, make connections, grow your network. If your schedule allows, you can also make informational interviews with your colleagues. That's a great way to be productive and use downtime, and then also learn a lot and just make sure you are able to kind of get the most out of the experience. Another thing you want to do is follow up with anyone you meet with via email, just to kind of document that, have their information, they have your information, and it's a way to express your appreciation for their time and for their just opportunity to connect. You can also ask about other professional organizations in your field, say if they have any connections to other areas, other companies. They most likely have an entire list of people that you can talk to from their background and their experience and their career journey. So you can learn from them and learn about all that kind of stuff. Make sure you update your LinkedIn and Handshake profiles once you start the internship so that people can see what you're doing and where, and then connect with team members so that you have their information, have their connection after the internship ends. Wrapping up your internship, make sure you update your colleagues on any unfinished projects and assignments. This is just a little thing, but it goes a long way. You want to leave them with a good impression, and it's really hard when an intern leaves and they don't let you know where they're at or where things stand, and they have to kind of pick up the pieces. So it's a small thing, but make sure you tie up any loose ends that you need to and let them know what you're leaving, how you're leaving things. Ask for a wrap up meeting with your supervisor. This is a great chance to talk about those loose ends and then just kind of share how the internship went, see if there's any potential next steps that you can take. And then share your gratitude, write a thank you card for the opportunity so they can remember you, should understand your appreciation, and again, just have a good impression of how the experience went. This is a good chance to also gauge whether they would be willing to write you a letter of recommendation or serve as a reference in the future when you're doing other internships or other jobs, and just making sure that they are someone who would be willing to speak on your behalf. And then update your resume and LinkedIn handshake profiles to include the internship experience as ended, not just as current, to show that it's ended and that you're moving on. These are all just great things to make sure you're doing as you're wrapping up, things that you can easily forget, but they make all the difference. So that's all I have. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm always available to help with any point of the internship process, searching, applying, paperwork, questions during your internship, anything like that. And there's my contact information. And let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.